We are Southeastern 16, presented by FanDuel with Jay Greeson. I'm Chase Robinson, as we will preview and predict the Egg Bowl. Ole Miss on the road in Starkville, taking on the Mississippi State Bulldogs. That is an 11 a.m. kickoff Central Friday morning on ABC. According to our friends at FanDuel, Ole Miss minus 7.5, over under 62.5 in this one. So we'll break it down in just a moment. But first, let's talk about our friends over at GameTime SIDEKICKS. Yeah, they got the officially licensed stainless steel drinkware, all SEC schools, plus 350 more universities. Everything from stainless steel sippy cups, tumblers, 40-ounce plus bottles, and shaker cups. You can get a 20% discount. SE16, the promo code SE16 for a 20% discount to you, the viewers there at GameTime SIDEKICKS. So, Jay, when it comes to this game, I think a lot of the attention on this game has gone to Lane Kiffin and the wondering of what he's going to do, and the obscure message from the athletic director Keith Carter Friday saying that an announcement will come after the Egg Bowl on Saturday. All this around Lane Kiffin and the coaching search is really taking the spotlight of the Egg Bowl this year.
It's shared the spotlight. I won't say taken the spotlight, because this is one of those surreal rivalry games. Look, man, you get to the end of the season and there are some season-ending matchups. You and I have talked about Missouri, Arkansas. That feels as much like a rivalry as, I don't know, pillows versus sheets. You know, I mean, LSU, Oklahoma, not a lot of vitriol there. This one is on the short list of games that truly, if fans said, I don't care if we go 2-10 and one of those wins is in this game, they could very well believe it. And look, the whole conversation in the national, in the macro, is 100% about Lane Kiffin. It's not even about Ole Miss's playoff spots, because you mentioned the AD statement. I read a story today in the New York Times about, could Ole Miss fire Lane Kiffin because he's not willing to give a commitment? And I mean, I don't think in a million years they would, primarily because if you think he's going to leave, you don't want to give away the buyout money that whoever his next employer is going to pay you coming back. So the vitriol right now, I will say this, as much of a home field advantage as Davis Wade Stadium is with the cowbells, it's really a good thing that I think in a lot of ways this game's not in Oxford.
Yeah.
Because every Ole Miss fan I know is so irate about how Lane Kiffin has handled this, leading into they're a win from being a dunk playoff team.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's mind-blowing that this is where we are, and all the conversation in the big picture and the off weeks and the downtime leading into this it's pretty rare that both of these teams had a bye week before the rivalry game, you know?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that's really, look, I spent 15 years as a sports editor at the Times Free Press in Chattanooga. And if I was a sports editor of the Clarion Ledger or whatever paper of merit is in the state of Mississippi, any college football writer who comes into a story meeting and says, well, I want to write about the running backs, shut up. What do you know about Lane Kiffin? That's the only thing people really want to read and want to talk about. Because, look, they're a bad 20 minutes away in Athens from being undefeated,
yeah,
and right there with any team in the country.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. When it comes to this game specifically, though, for the Mississippi State Bulldogs and Blake Shapen, he's thrown for 2,433 yards, 15 touchdowns. He does have 8 picks on the season, and we saw him go out a couple of weeks ago. To you, what is Mississippi State's path to be in this game with Ole Miss?
Run the ball down their throat. And easier said than done, but whether it's Booth, whether it's Bothwell, whoever it's going to be committed to trying to be the most physical team on the field Friday afternoon. And it is – Ole Miss has really fashioned itself and redirected itself into a team that was happy to outscore you to now a team that also can buckle up and play a game like that. And look, Mississippi State's had problems defensively. It's been a defense that has they started the year 4-0. They're now 5-6, and they're dying for bowl eligibility. But they're going to have to run the football for a multitude of reasons. One, it is a way to dictate pace, and it's a way to keep Ole Miss at least on its heels, because that's a big play defense that likes to create turnovers, create sacks, get the ball back, and let Trinidad Chambliss work. But running the football for Mississippi State allows your defense to stay off the field. Yep. Because in this terrible stretch where they've lost 6 of their last 7, they've given up 41, 31, 23, 45, 35, 41, 49. I mean, it's been a grind to try to slow down opposing offenses. And one way is to just, maybe the best way is to keep them off the football field, Chase.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great way to do that. Looking at Ole Miss offensively, Trinidad Chambliss, 2,657 yards, 14 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. That's a pretty good ratio. We've seen Kewan Lacey rush for over 1,100 yards. They've got some receivers that they like to go to. This Ole Miss offense has been impressive. What Lane Kiffin has been able to bring into Oxford once again. But Trinidad Chambliss has just been, one, a great story, but two, watching him play, he's been fun to watch.
Oh, he's been unbelievably fun to watch. And I think while you mentioned the 14-3 touchdown interception ratio, and while his passing totals may not be as high as a lot of guys around the league, you've also got to remember that Austin Simmons started the first handful of games. Yep. So I think the thing that jumps off the page to me is he's completing better than 65% of his passes. And this is yet another reclamation project. Look, Lane Kiffin's mercurial. Lane Kiffin's a lot of things. Some of them are infuriating to fan bases because this is the second time in 3 years he's playing footsie with other SEC league teams after the flirtation with Auburn going on 3 years ago. But there is no denying that Lane Kiffin is a true quarterback whisperer. And he gets the best out of all those guys. And while it's a great talking point that there's a real chance your all-SEC first or second team quarterback is an unheralded transfer from Ferris State, the reality of this is Kewan Lacey has an argument to be SEC Player of the Year. Dude has 19 touchdowns through 11 games and has been a total bell cow. And that's the thing that scares me the most if I'm taking a cowbell wherever I go on Saturday is what do we do with Keywan Lacey? Because it wasn't that long ago that Mississippi State gave up 3 bills to Ahmad Hardy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Let's get into picks. Jay, who you got winning the Egg Bowl?
I'm what's the number from FanDuel, our partners at FanDuel?
7.5. Ole Miss 7.5.
That's a great number because the emotions are going to be high. But I'm taking Ole Miss, and I'm taking Ole Miss to cover. I think while the frustration and the angst among the fan base is not only clear, it's understood, and in a lot of ways it's warranted. I think the guys in the locker room know what is at stake. And a win against a team that's not as good as you, even on the road, means every one of your dreams are still intact of playing for a national championship. Because an 11-1 SEC team, whether they're in Atlanta or not, punches its ticket.
Yeah.
And so this is going to be a game that I'm scared of your first half numbers, but Ole Miss's ability to run the football. I mean, you're talking about a team that averages close to 5 yards a carry. They've ran for 31 touchdowns in 11 games against a Mississippi State team that is actually almost as bad as Arkansas is defensively. And I can't put a quantifier on how truly bad that is. But in terms of stopping the run, Mississippi State is Arkansas-esque bad. When it gets down to the get down, that mismatch to me screams Ole Miss by multiple scores.
Yeah, no, I'm taking Ole Miss big. And I like what you said, and I completely agree with that. No matter what's going on with Coach and whether he's bought in or not, like these players know what's at stake. These players want to get to the playoff. These players want to show that, hey, we're for real. Ole Miss is going to try to make a run at the playoff. And you can't take that away from them. And so they're going to play that way no matter what's going on with the coaching situation. These guys are going to play like a playoff team. And so I think Ole Miss most certainly gets the win on Saturday against Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl, which should be a fun one. Again, 11 a.m. You don't get Egg Bowls at 11 a.m. often. I would like to see this as a night game, but it's 11 a.m. Central ABC on Friday morning. Let's talk about a couple of our sponsors who help make this possible. Yearly Company, Nashville-based fine jewelry brand built on tradition, designed for meaning. Each piece is handcrafted from solid 14-karat gold and natural gemstones, made to measure for a perfect fit and backed by a lifetime guarantee. Because every Yearly Company bangle is custom size. Knowing your size is the most important first step before ordering. That's where our sizing kit comes in. And you can get one for free using promo code SC16KIT. Yes, SC16KIT will take 100% off the sizing kit at checkout. Also brought to you by our friends at ROKFORM, the world's most strongest magnetic foam case. Extreme protection, super strong magnets, rock lock secure mounting. Promo code SCC25 for 25% off there at ROKFORM. Join us after the games. We'll be recapping them right here on the channel. Subscribe if you have not already. Like this video, share it with your friends. For Jay Greeson, I'm Chase Robinson. We are Southeastern 16, presented by FanDuel.